Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, this is 7 p.m. Today I'm going to be giving you a two-piece reply featuring myself and Rehin. Rehin in his Waffenträger Auf Pz IV, one of the new tanks. They had so many tanks, every new patch, that they will soon outnumber the decimals of pi. However, I slumber. It's in my Obj.704. This will be the first video I upload in 2014. Well, hey, Happy New Year or something. Anyway, Rehin is blocked by the Auf Pz IV. The thing is that this game is a bit of a run-of-the-mill game in the Obj.704 and Waffenträger Auf Pz in terms of damage. But the positioning we take up and the amount of assisting and spotting that Rehin does is quite remarkable. I am more than certain that it wins us the game, even though it can be argued that we kind of it's a bit of a touch-and-go position. It's a risky move to make, but in these types of tanks with that camo value of these two, I say that you can make it work for you quite easily. Here we are then, Rehin sitting him down, getting his camo net up, and the binos. This is where this tank shines, because it's got about 400 meters of view range, or maybe it even has got 410, which makes it actually, if I'm not mistaken, reach the limit of 500 meters of view range with binos up, which is quite interesting. I might have miscalculated that because I don't even have the time to do that sort of calculations nowadays. But anyway, Rehin has got quite a bit of view range, and that makes it very much easier for him to spot stuff for me and himself, of course. And the Waffenträger there, maybe Rehin shouldn't have taken that shot, but it worked out because he's got the camo net, and that makes it, well, harder for them to detect him. And also to be added is the fact that when you find a Waffenträger 100, you gotta take him out. There's nothing else to it. You gotta get him damaged, because the Waffenträger 100 can per mag easily take out most tanks in the game if it's a good player. And luckily most players in the Waffenträgers are either one of these who just grinds for ages, lose their way up, so to speak, and then of course there are those who are good, but those are fewer than those who actually can play the Waffenträgers. But yeah, I'm not gonna comment on what that guy is. And the VG7201 taken out. Poorly angled, not sure what he's doing, but as you can tell, Rehin is doing some fine amounts of spotting, because the Obj.704 tends to be doing some weird stuff, and the reason I'm going to show you my perspective is that I'm going to show you where I stand and what type of damage I do, and then you might be able to do the same in your tanks later. The thing with the Obj.704 and this tank together is that Rehin's tank has got quite a lot of as you can see, that was a miss from me, but the thing is that they complement each other quite well. Rehin will actually be taken out a bit later, for someone will spot him, not sure how, and that will be quite interesting. I'm quite positive that it's one of their Waffenträger Auf Pz IVs was sitting up on the ridge line there and just manages to pop their binoculars in time. Sorry for spoiling, but what can you do? But as you can tell, thus far, Rehin has spotted quite a bit and done well, a respectable amount of damage. Well, let me just tell you, there will be more. If I'm not mistaken, that might have actually been a... Yeah. Yeah, there we have it. Spotted. Probably by the Waffenträger 100, but I'm not sure, because then he'd probably be dead. But it's unclear, and as you can tell, the M103 is actually hit by Rehin with the first blind shot. And here you can see that the turret makes it very powerful, because it can just follow, it can lead very easily compared to the Obj.704, for instance. Which you will see when you get my perspective later, and you'll see the pros and cons comparatively between those two tanks. Yeah, it was probably their other Waffenträger, Pz IV, that spotted Rehin. Because he's up there on the bridge line somewhere. And yeah. And this is where it gets interesting. Pummeling that young tiger. And apparently he was spotted. He kinda... I think he kinda felt it there because he went back a bit. And yeah, as you can see, now Rehin will be specking me for the rest of the game. So I'm just going to start it up again and show you from my perspective. Here we are then, ready to continue. Also I'd like to add that I would like to know if there are any problems with the sound when you watch it. I will be watching these to make sure that it's up to snuff, but there might be things that you hear that might be annoying, or things that might not be up to the old standard, or maybe you'd like to change the standard. If it's within plausible intervals, then I might be doing that. But yeah, it's up to you guys. I might change stuff. It's not like I don't care. It's just it's hard to criticize yourself, but I know, of course, that I haven't got the biggest viewer base out there, so it's no problem really. Just would like to float that out there. I'll be checking for comments. Maybe I get some. Anyway, we are here in the Obj.704, my point of view this time. Rehin heading up behind me. The Waffenträger Pz IV is quite a nimble little tank. To its tower though, it can just remain stationary, which gives it very good accuracy. And this is just me being a bit cheeky, setting up, getting ready. I will actually get nothing real done until we spot the VK. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of a rundown of this map and what I think of it. I'll be doing lots of these backing off and pushing forward again. Yeah, that's basically how I like to play the tank. And our 50B, you shouldn't really be doing that in any tank. Depending off of that position. If you really can't do nothing real with it, then you really shouldn't be doing that. I'm not sure what people think really on this map though. It's so terribly imbalanced. On the town side, down in the southeastern corner. The only real way that you can take the town is that if you push up with lots of quick tanks the town at the start, and then really just hold it there for your heavies to push up, and that is dependent on your heavies being quick enough. I would have thought that I would have went in, but probably it just went high and bounced off the top of the tank. And here I am quite certain that the IS-8s and the T-71 I can't really fire upon, and we got a massive defense. And this is a funny shot. He actually gets respotted during the time that or the travel time of the shell, and I still only get his tracks, which is laughable. I'm not sure, I might have taken out his engine or something and done no damage straight. But here I'm doing damage, and I actually take out the engine of this tank. Sorry about that, hitting the mic. I actually take out his engine, and I think his driver. With that shot, or this shot. And now Rehin says goodnight. However, I can't seem to hit this T-54E1. I generally have quite a good sense of where I aim and where I should be aiming, because I've quite good, you know, reference memory. But yeah, it might just be bad luck, I don't know, or maybe lack of routine, considering I haven't played that much really lately. Because as you can see, he's way up there in HP, and I will be missing another shot. Sorry about that. I'm actually gonna get a really weird tracking shot in on one of those IS-8s later, which is hilarious. But anyway, as I was talking about this map, because now we've got a little bit of a break again, is that you really, first of all, you should never, from the spawn here, let yourself be caught out in the water there, no matter which side you're on. They really shouldn't be pushing down there unless, well, okay, they have actually got quite a good opportunity to do that, but it's still not good, if you understand what I mean. It's as good a possibility that you get with people on our team in the spawn, but you're still really in really bad situation with that. And the weird thing is that that one has track shot, and I won't be hitting any more on this flank. I'm actually going to get spotted later. I'm not sure if I get spotted now, but I might just get one more in. I'm not sure. But yeah, that doesn't really matter. But anyway, the interesting thing is that if you head into town, you really have to. The thing is that people believe that there are set points on every map where certain tanks should always go. I'm quite certain I hit the T-71 wreck there, which is strange. But anyway, people think that there are set points where you can go. It's never so in this game, because it has to be dynamic, because it's player versus player. There's never a run-of-the-mill. And I'm not sure why I took that shot. I think that must have been a misclick on my part, to be fair. Or just, I sometimes tap the fire button, and by that I mean the left mouse button, during reloads, and I probably thought I had reload, or I was just tabbing in again, I'm not sure. But anyway, the point being that there are never any set points. You always need to be very dynamic, because either because of the fact that the enemy team might be stupid, or the fact that the enemy team might be good. There are those two to choose from. The strange thing is that I won't be shot at here. I think that, yeah, unclear. But the thing is that if you're gonna take town, you really need your mediums there, because they need to be able to push up there and be up by the factory before. And by the factory, I of course mean this little area here, this end here, and yeah, you don't really need to be inside of the factory, but just so that you can hold the factory. I've had quite good luck with that with my T-54. Those times when the heavies tend to follow you. And anyway, the thing is that you really are in dire straits if you haven't got people to hold down, you know, to just take your forward position later, or at the start for you to come up later with a heavy tank on this map if you head into town. But on the whole, a defensive setup is recommended on this map, considering the cauldron-esque nature of this map, considering there are high ground on both sides. And if you're on the high ground for like for the what is today the red team, and you just hang around up at the bushes up there, then you can basically hold down town unless you are either distracted or no one spots for you. Which basically mean that, yeah, you have to be dynamic more or less. But also, you should always let the game develop, because the thing is that if you are a bit defensive and not take the initiative unless you are confident that you can do something with it, then you will have a yeah, well, it's hard to say, but unless you're certain that you can do something by being very aggressive early on with a tank that can actually take a punch and dish damage out, then you should always allow the game to develop a bit before you actually try and change it, because you need to know what happens. And that's another good way to actually get, you know, to flush out the weaker players, so that you'll know if you don't use XVM, which I don't. At least I use some features of the XVM, but not most. It also to flush out people, and you'll know which ones are weak and which ones aren't. And yeah, a massive 117 damage on the Yag target. And the Waffenträger is a fun story, but the thing with him is that he's actually up there at A1, which he knew that one of us would head up there. He probably knows that there are quite a few weak players on our team, because you can basically be sure that people are using XVM, because I'm quite positive that about between 30 and 40% of players are using XVM or some features of it. And I think most people are not good enough with it to know that you can turn stuff off. And some people actually believe that they get a anything more than just a slight pointer to what's going on. And here the Waffenträger has left his last goose. Quite a nice ending to the game, I feel there, having done 1600 damage to the Waffenträger E100. Rehin will have been doing more than 4000 damage, 4300 if I'm not mistaken, and I will be at 4.6k damage. And I will now show you the score screen. Be right back. Here we are then, score screen. Rehin, 4380 damage, 4770 spotting. Me, just below him, with 4615 damage. Got one hidden shot in, and managed to miss quite a few shots, but spotted for 1600 as well. So it was quite an acceptable game. Rehin sadly got taken out, but there were no brothers in arms on the tappet or anything like that, so kind of fine. I thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.